Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is August 26th, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 minutes after San Francisco time, and today is Monday. Oh, dreary Monday. That's dreary Monday to you guys, not to me, because every day is Sunday for me. so, so today's topic, let's see. I'm thinking let's do Emacs then. I mean, today we do Emacs or Emacs Lisp because yesterday, someone, who was it, Seamus or someone suggested we do Emacs Lisp, and but then we digressed into the story of GNU Guile, a brave GNU word. Bartholomew, good morning. Seamus Slack. Okay, do I look good? I have to prettify. When you do broadcasting, you have to make up. Even some YouTubers, they do makeup. They have to pretty themselves, for the presentation. That's public relations, all important public relations. So that is, this is my schedule, but it's actually not set yet. I haven't published it yet. And okay, so let me read the comments and let's see what we're gonna talk about. So type the topic, okay, type a topic, and let's see. So let me read the comments. I thought I didn't schedule, but actually I did yesterday, so I was late. So Seamus Slack says about Emacs does not have syntax parser and the PyCharm does. Couldn't you just have the Emacs syntax highlighting remember the word from the var and added to the list of added uh, added a list to no you cannot added a list to set the color. No, you cannot do that because okay, so we were talking about, let's show some code. Okay, let's go to let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let's go to this. Let's go to uh, TypeScript. Okay, this is let's see. Go to the bottom of the buffer, and let's start command log. So on the left window, you see all my Emacs commands. Okay, if you see what I'm doing and you don't know what it is, just look up the name, such as go to the beginning of buffer, go to the end of buffer, backward word, forward word, up arrow keys, and so on. So this is a TypeScript file which is 500 lines. Now this file draw SVG graphics, math plot like sine, cosine, and parametric plot, and so on. And yeah, so we were talking about syntax coloring. So yesterday we talked about how Emacs, the syntax coloring mechanism is based on regular expression. Essentially, the heart of it is that you write a lot of regular expressions. You tell Emacs when you see this, if this regular expression matches, color it this way. If that regular expression matches, color it as a constant name, things like that. Regular expression based syntax coloring. And this is, in fact, I would say, I think vast majority of editors, or let's say editors, all editors before, let's say 2010, or it's like that, because uh, this is easy way to do it. So anyway, but there are problems with this regular expression approach because one thing we mentioned is that suppose I have a function. Let's see if we can find a function. Okay, so here is a function. Now this block of code is a function. Let me check out the comments a little bit. So let me finish this topic. Okay, let's just start with this topic. So this is a function, and this is an arrow function. So you can see you can see this is a function. The whole definition of a function we assign it to a variable constant. Function svg y labels. Okay, it creates labels for the y-axis. That's what this function do. And so this is a function, and this is the parameters. You have several parameters. Then you have this arrow. This is arrow function. The function body is here. Now in the function body, you can see we have a constant n. So n is a variable. So typically, let's switch to Emacs JavaScript mod. Right now I'm in XOT JavaScript TypeScript mod. Okay, let's switch to JS mod. Okay, JS mod, JavaScript mod. So this is Emacs JavaScript mod, the default. So you see, it colors n. It colors n here, but it does not color. Let's find n. Let's see, where is it? Where else is n defined? Let's I don't know where is n, but let's look at this one. This defines a variable svg texts. Okay, it's an array. So you see it's colored. It's colored because using regular expression, you can say that whenever you see the word constant, then the next word is going to be a variable name. Therefore, you can color it as a variable. But however, let's search that. You see, so however, you see that variable also appears here, but it's not colored. It's not because there's no way for Emacs or any regular expression based coloring syntax coloring system to be sure that this is actually a variable. You cannot do that, so it's not colored there. And but so the question is, why can't Emacs just, once you see this, you just make a list, like remember, okay, this is a variable. Then when you see it, you color it as a variable. That won't work. It won't work. Lots of time it will just be wrong because computer languages, you really have to understand. For example, let's see. It won't work because how do I explain it? But because it's not. You see, the way we think it's going to work, because whenever you see this, it's a variable. Then what do you do is that within this bracket, within this curly bracket, that's the scope of the variable. Then you just color everything of that word. But that won't work because for example, in JavaScript you have var. You can declare a variable with var, but the scope of var is not the outer curly bracket, not the braces. Rather, it must be the closest outer function. So in this case, it's a function. Then the scope of var is inside here. But then, so now the problem is you not only need to find the outer nearest curly brackets, but you also need to be sure this bracket is actually a function, part of a function. This is just an example. It gets complex, because the scope of a variable also, there are other issues. There are, for example, what if this variable name, this name appears in a string, or in a regular expression, and what if there are other examples? Basically, the problem is that you are treating this language as a textual, as a formal language, as a textual language. But actually, the meaning, for vast majority of programming languages, the meaning of a variable the semantics of a variable, how its scope and where it the semantics is actually not textual. I mean, meaning that you cannot find the exact scope of a variable or function by just looking at the text. You actually, by just passing the text, you cannot do that. You actually have to kind of you have to know the semantics of the language, something like that. Okay, I'm probably this is probably not the best explanation, but something like that. And also, it's yeah. Anyway, so that was one question. So let me read the comments and keep the comments coming. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, so does that yeah? So I guess does that make sense? Seamless. Greetings everyone, Bartholomew, Zitron Crazy, good morning. Iris Garcia, good morning. Uh, Random number five, why Golang is good? That's simple. That's easy to answer. I actually talked about this a few times. Golang, I love Golang. I think it's a great language. I think you should learn it. Well, it depends on you actually, but for most people, it's a good language to learn because one, it's very fast. It's intent. I talked about this many times because it's very fast. 6 times faster than Python, Perl, Ruby, PHP. Okay, six times on average or more. Because it's basically almost the same speed as it is the same speed as C++. Because Golang is designed to be a modern replacement for C++. So the speed is comparable to C. So actually for some tasks it's faster than C. So anyway, so Golang, the number one reason is fast. Number two, it's not ordered. Okay. The second reason is that it's simple. Golang, the semantics, the model, the language model is very simple. You can learn it in 1 week. You actually learn and understand the whole language in 1 week. I mean, if you are a hot shot, you can say you can know the whole thing in 1 day. Okay, but practically 1 week, yeah, you actually know the whole language, the entire how they work, the entire you understand the entire thing in 1 week. Now you cannot say that for Haskell. Haskell, you understand the whole language in 1 year. Okay, for Closure, no, you not it's gonna have a year or more. Java, same thing. Python is simpler. Ruby is simpler. But Golang is even simpler than Ruby. Well, almost the same, very simple. Okay, so Golang is very fast. That's good. Simple. The whole thing is very simple. And it's statically typed. Okay, it has type inference and it supports functional programming. A function is a value. You can return a function can return a function. A function can also take a function as argument. So it supports any practical functional programming, no problem. Now this is not true for Python. Okay, this is not true for Perl. Yeah, Python and Perl, they support functional programming, but actually not not really. We are talking about the basic fundamental support of functional programming, meaning that you can do everything in functional style. Uh, but however, not like Haskell. Haskell is as you know, Haskell is like one level up. Haskell, and there's a lot in practical stuff like lazy lazy evaluation. Infinite list and monad and querying, and those things are I guess good. It depends on your point of view, but anyway, they are not that practical. Okay, so Golang is supposed practical functional programming very well, and that's what I do. I never in my 20-30 years of programming, I never coded any object oriented way. Never. Well, in a company you follow the code, right? Yeah, you do follow the code. But for my own project in 30 years, I never code anything in OOP style, and I will never do OOP style. It's all function. So Golang is fast, simple to learn, very simple model. supports functional programming well. Okay, you can be practical with it. But the most important okay, and also greatest documentation in industry among all languages, all man pages, Apache, whatever technology, Golan's documentation and the documentation for the library and also the documentation for the Go language spec is the best written. Okay, trust me on that because I have a thing about programming language documentations. I have a obsession about programming language documentations. I also talked about this several times. Okay, let me show you some of my XOD essays. First of all, let's go to talk show and today, what is today? Today is this one. Open it. No, today. Okay, I don't have it written today. So why Golang? Because fast, like C++. Then supports practical, functional programming well, very well. Okay, simple, can learn whole in 1 week. Number 4, best documentation. Number 5, the most important reason. Number 5, the most important reason. Golang is industry standard, meaning that you can find a job. If we all love the language of our choice, but for many of those choices, you will find no job like Haskell. Uh, you know, but Golang, if you like it, you study it, you can make a living. You earn your bread. You code in daytime, you code Golang at day, you get things to eat. At night, you do Golang for fun, and that's for relaxation. So that's Golang. And this is the most this reason is the most important reason. People don't usually don't think about it. My type of people, the hackers, the language enthusiasts. Because for example, there are many great languages people like. Oh, they say, oh, Scheme is the considered loved language by most people throughout 1990s to up to 2010 for 20 years. But where is Scheme? It's tail recursing in some bubble, at on Mars. You can see the Scheme people on Mars. They are talking about things. And Haskell, they live on Venus. They live on Venus. They're talking about monad and curry and stuff. Yeah, they are there. But if you want to make living, you want to code, make a living, do a language you like, Golang. Okay, Golang is it. Not Java, the crap, and C++ crap. C++ and C is the worst in the universe. Okay, so that is my reason for Golang. Okay, Bartholomew. Is the stream going? Yes, it is going now. Still waiting. Okay, Sally is on toilet, I presume, gifting us those big farts appears. Iris says, I gave a suggestion to Xad for today's talk, some Python code, the equivalent in Emacs list. Okay, Python code equivalent in Emacs list. We can do that. We can do that. For example, we can do a simple programming problem such as let's say print out the first 100 prime numbers. I tried to do that a few times. Shall we do that? Let's see, Python. Okay, let's go back. So Iris says that, but let me read the comments and we'll see what we're gonna talk. uh, one thought for each Unix ideology, right? Oh my God, I thought schedule. Okay, so Sorry, 5 minutes. Keep the comments coming, okay? I'm reaching it. Uh, okay, 5 minutes preparation time for next UNIX philosophy rant. First, Richard Stallman. So, message is held for review. Don't swear, okay? Guys, don't swear. Casual, look at this fat Unix philosophy. This fact. Why is Google, you know, censor that? Okay, FACK. The nasty, Google and Twitter. By today's generation, the millennials, nasty. You know, like that swearing word. But typically, you see, let me explain this. So you have this swearing word, okay, right? But people, good people, people who, not like me, okay, good, some other people, they are, they know this is sensitive, so they are good people, so they start to write, like that. As a, appeasement, as like, you want to express something, anger or something, but you understand, it's controversial, so you use this instead. And similarly, I guess for, that alternative spelling, so it's a way to almost like self-censor, but meanwhile, you tell people you want to say this word, but you are kind. But now they censor that too. Fuck Google, it becomes the extreme evil and these social justice people. Okay. Anyway, casual Kasar, look at so R. Richard on perpetual GNU. So Bartholomew says if you scratch the skin of Richard, there is GNU underneath it. Sima says, okay, so I'm gonna skip over the comments. I'm not gonna read out everything. Now there is a emoji. Let's see what that emoji is. Magnify. This is it's used to be called rolling on the floor laughing. Rolling on the floor. Wait, there's an acronym. I forgot. It's a. But anyway, now they have an emoji, and the emoji is called rolling on the floor laughing. Okay, so ROTFL. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so back to the comments. Full name actually, digress. The Emacs Lisp is always welcome. Good evening. Okay, let's do Emacs Lisp then. How long I've been talking? 23 minutes. Okay, that's the preface up to this point. It's preface. When you read a book, you have preface. Star Wars shirt again. Yeah, well, I take a shower every 3 days. I'm not sweating. Well, this I don't like this shirt. It says Star Wars, but I don't like it. I never wear. I'm a nerd, but I never wear anything like this. I don't like it. That's not me. I'm pure. I'm just Sally. I'm not fucking Star Wars. but my roommate gave me this shirt. He got a bunch of shirts. I just he he just gave it to me, so I just put it on. Star Wars, and especially today's Star Wars. That's something else. Ellipse. Okay, so let's do Ellipse then. Ellipse. Yeah. Good morning, Dion. We are doing Emacs Lisp after the preface. Dan says Asian Turkish history. Turkish, they have an interesting keyboard layout though. I have a story on Turkish keyboard layout because uh, Turkish, they, every keyboard layout typically they are created by one guy. Well, actually, if you look at the international keyboard layouts, okay, they are all idiotic. Okay, they are all QWERTY basically, all around the world are QWERTY or AZERTY or let's see, internet QWERTY. QWERTY or QWERTZ, okay, or AZERTY. AZERTY and QWERTZ are variations of a QWERTY. They basically just swap two pairs of keys. Well, like four keys. They just swap them, and for no good reason. After you swap, I've studied them. For example, German. Correct me, I'm wrong. Okay, if you Bartholomew, those you are in German or whatever countries I'm talking about. So anyway, so in Germany and these European countries, some of these countries use quote Z or AZERTY. Basically, they swap like three pairs of characters like this: AQ, ZW, M with comma. Okay, and that's AZERTY. And for QWERTY, I mean for quote Z, you swap Z and Y. And I look at them, it's actually stupid. I look, for example, quote Z is used in where? In German and Central Europe. Okay, so I looked at German, frequency of characters. It's no good. You swap them. As far as I know, it's not really better. It's almost, it's not really better at all. Same thing with AZERTY. So anyway, what I'm saying is that for international keyboard layout, typically they are, QWERTY or QWERTZ or AZERTY, and they are not ergonomic in any way. They just, I haven't, one thing interesting is the history. How did this happen? The history of QWERTZ and the history of AZERTY. I never, you have to look, you have to do research. It's not on Wikipedia. The last time I checked, you have to, you have to research for that. So that I don't have the answer for that. I like to know if you know the history, like who actually created AZERTY. Who the fuck created quote Z. Yeah, I like to know. They are the bad guys in society. Okay, how did they become? Anyway, so I was saying in the most word they you just have these, you use these or variations, and they are not ergonomic in any way. And however, there is one exception, that is Turkish layout. Yeah, I don't have a Turkish layout on my website. You can go to Wikipedia, but Turkish layout is designed by a committee with a focus on the Turkish language. So that is a different. That's a different one. That's one standing out. Of course, a lot of programmers have created their own. Like lots of well, Vorag is famous, not by programmers, but a lot of programmers created all these variations: Comac, Asset, and Neo, and Norman, and for German language, Neo, and for Portuguese too. But anyway, I'm talking about the official countries layout. So Turkish one is one that stands out because it's actually designed. It's not just swap a few letters from QWERTY. It's actually entirely designed for Turkish language. And by the way, those idiotic layout that applies to China, Japan, Russia too. Because if you can look at Russia layout, it's what is Russian layout? It's and French too, completely inefficient. It's worse than QWERTY. What's Russian layout? Oh yeah, okay. Well, Russian doesn't use English, but yeah, but it's pretty bad. Here's a heat map. Um, and also Japan, what the most popular layout in Japan is QWERTY. Well, I mean exactly just like the U.S. American keyboards for inputting Japanese, and very extremely inefficient. And similarly, you can say that for China. Well, mostly you see, most things happens in society. From my experience looking at all these things, the way they happen is just that it's never the case. It's like some inventor or something, they sit down and think they're gonna solve this problem, and they created some design, and there it is. No, that's almost never the case. It just almost happened by happenstance, just by almost accidental, and it just came up. For example, that's kind of the story of QWERTY, and that's also the story of Emacs key binding. That is also the case for the Vim VI key, the VI model. Anyway, I talked about that before. I'm not gonna talk about that. So today I hope we have 30 minutes to do Emacs Lisp, and okay, let me. Wow, okay, so that's what officials would you like to believe. So as I truly see in the for loop, uh, oh God, I'm not now. I need to think about, are we gonna still do Emacs Lisp? Because if I continue on, then the answer would be no. Because otherwise I need to start now Emacs Lisp and maybe some Python. Uh, well, Dion asked me this thing. Uh, why can't you keep a pass tree in memory? I don't know the details actually. The syntax coding I learned from Stevie Yex. Steve Yex. As you know, he's very famous. It's you need a parser, and the parser is not different. Is different from the typical parser for compiling the language. You need a parser that's kind of for the syntax coding. And I don't know the technical details, so I'm planning to write a parser, but but now I'm doing Star Talk Show. Uh, you know, um, okay. Well, Dion, you go write one. Go write one. So keep the comments, okay? That I don't. Well, that's bad. I should do Emacs Lisp now, but it's kind of late. Uh, when you can associate your variables to what on the level stack. Sorry, that makes sense. Okay, great. Seamless. Okay. Am I missing something? You learn it in 1 week of non-coder. Lisp is the simplest. It's all lambda calculus. Uh, sorry if I offend anyone, but uh, one of the worst language, Python. Okay. Um, you are offending a mass of people. You're gonna be the enemy of the people because Python is one of the most popular language now. Uh, Python is a language that has worked at least for me. Oh yeah, so you okay? So you code Python. Okay, great. I don't know what have you used it for. Okay, try it for Python is great. So right again, it's Richard's heretics. So running apps written in Go explain like when system breaks at least once a month. Python. I don't like Python. Yeah, I don't like Python because, well, actually, I did a video on Python on Guido van Rossum for 1 hour. It must be 3 months ago or 4 months ago. Address every application Python is used for. What about OpenStack, for example? What is OpenStack? I've forgot. Okay, let's magnify. OpenStack is a free and open source software platform for cloud computing. Oh, cloud computing. No, whereby virtual servers and other resources are made available to consumers. Whatever. Well, as cloud computing, the reason part of the reason we have cloud computing is because open source. Because when you have open source ideology, companies, they cannot, you know, they have to embrace it because that's the ideology. Otherwise, people are gonna punch you. Therefore, company went to the cloud because well, open source, they cannot make money. They cannot make money. They cannot survive. And no company. Therefore, what can they do? Oh, let's do cloud. It's a service, so we we it's a workaround around the open source bug. So now we can make money, and let's say we help humanity advance by creating a cloud, so you can sync all your devices in one place. That's and all your photos in bed or outside of bed, we're gonna keep it on our server, and we are going to help humanity. We can analyze the photo and create report and help us understand humanity. Cloud. That's right. Thank you. Thank you so much, open source. What is Python for? Understand what you are trying it. Coming back. Okay, so what? Let's see. What is Python for? So let's keep the comments. OpenStack. What is Python good for? Understanding what you are trying to do. Coming back. Oh God, so many comments. So what? Today's just comment sessions. I guess nobody mentioned Lisp yet. I mean, I don't. Um, so Bartholomew says, Dion, I didn't try it myself, but Julia, I think I like Julia. I just don't have time to study it yet. But however, the problem is, like I mentioned before, the problem is, suppose I spend time to learn Julia. There's no Julia is one of the niche. It's great language, but niche. Nobody uses it. You know, and it's unfortunate. Nobody uses it. You cannot find a job. Uh, so you're gonna. Okay. So the first time I had touched Python 3, I was shocked. It did not have case. Uh, functional function. Uh, Julia rocks. Oh, Nick, is that you, Nick, on the Twitter? Is that you, the Nick on Twitter? Because Nix has been telling me about Julia all the time. You know, I like to learn it, but today, there are so many things. It's not like you have free time. What about math? That's a black hole. There's so many things that really, I love. Math is a thing. Math is permanent. Not like programming languages. Here and there. You know, proof theory. Well, of course, many of you are into category theory from the Haskell. Haskell pop. Okay, yeah, Haskell. You are category theory, but I'm into proof theory and math foundations, and that I can spend 10 years and not still not understand that. Well, I mean, after you spend few years, you would have a good foundation. You understand, but then math. Then I need to start to write a parser. Then So Julia is great, but so many languages today. Uh, I don't have time. Uh, so I know the feeling you end up with lots of trees. Is a dictionary. Okay, so you guys are chatting. Hash table. Calling a spade of spade. Even easier. Hash table. Hash table was known as hash table. Then in Python it becomes dictionary. Ruby calls it hash table. In Java it calls it map. And in JavaScript it also calls map. Well, JavaScript object is actually, you can say it's a hash table, but now since ES 2015, they have a proper hash table called map. So anyway, so you see, I'm interested in these kind of things, terminology, because then you started to look into etymology of hash table. Why is it called hash table? Etymology, and which one is which one is a better term? Is it hash table, or is it dictionary, or is it map? I need to find the answer. This is I need to obsess over this critical matter. Um, and hash table hash table, the reason it's hash table is called hash table because of the word hash function, from the terminology of hash function. And why is hash function hash function? Well, hash function is, well, first of all, hash function is a function that takes some string and returns a usually a shorter, much shorter, a very short string that is unique. Okay, that's hash function. But why is it called hash? It's because I forgot actually. What does anyone know? Why is it hash function called hash? I forgot. I think it's well, etymology. So let's go to Kasa Wordy English blog. Show in browser. This is my Wordy English blog. From the haughty emotions of lexicon, stylistic concerns, decipherment of grammar and idioms, linguisticality, literature, and logicality. And now we gonna create a new entry and hash and call etymology. Word etymology, linkify. Show in browser. Etymology of hash. Now click. Magnify. Hash 1650. To hack, chop into small pieces. That is it. Yeah, so in America, you have the breakfast called hash browns. That is what it means. To hack, chop into small pieces. So 1650, from French, hatch up, chop up. Okay, from Old French, hatch axe. Okay, so yeah, hatchet. Okay, hash browns. 1926 is a short for hashed brown potatoes. Oh, hash browns, hashed brown potatoes. 1886. Okay, so anyway, that is the origin of hash function. I suppose, I'm pretty sure after you read this. So yeah, so that is why a list of key value pairs is called hash table. First of all, you have hash functions. So why is hash table called hash table? Hash table is just a list of pairs, key value pairs. Okay, but why is it called hash table? Because in order to implement that, okay, this gets into some algorithms. In order to implement list of pairs, you have to use a hash table, hash function to create the keys. So when we have a list of key value pairs, you have a key. You use the hash function. The key is the input to the function. It comes out something, memory address or something. Okay. So why you do that? So that when you look up any key, the computer can easily can find the value of that key in constant time. Now, exactly how this works, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the low-level assembly or C. Maybe some of you guys know. Explain it, okay? If you know why, if you have, if you code in C or assembly, you know how a hash table is implemented. Maybe you can explain it, type it. But I actually did implement a hash table back in year 2001. This is a story in our e-commerce system. Okay, let me mention that in our e-commerce system, we on Solaris operating system, we have directories, then we have subdirectories, each subdirectory corresponds to a merchant. Now this is an e-commerce system like Yahoo Store. Okay, so you have a website, merchant can go there, open a store. So I have a store selling keyboards, for example. Then buyers can go to my store and buy things. So this is an e-commerce system, yeah, like Yahoo Store. So for merchants, you can open a store, then buyers can go to your store. So it's a massive system. So a directory on Solaris, each directory corresponds to a merchant. Okay. Then of course in that directory, then you have quantities, you have products, you have SKU number, you have data, like what keyboard you have, and how much you sell, your price, things, data like that. Anyway, the point is that you have like lots of these directories, each one correspond to a merchant. At one point, our system crashed. Well, I'm not sure it's error. It's a crash. Okay, because too many subdirectories. Too many. I don't remember exactly what's the number. It's like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. I don't remember the number, but it exceeded the maximum possible for not this space, but it exceeded the number of directories you can create. And of you Unix guys or Linux guys, you probably will say, "Oh, that's because inode. You exceeded inode." That's not why. Okay, it's more technical than that. I don't remember the details, but actually, if you really want to search it, you can find my name. This is back in 2001 on Newsgroup. I asked the Solaris Newsgroup about that question. Just search Xali Solaris directory maximum items, something like that on Newsgroup. I don't remember what's the answer, but there is some. It's not inode. There is some maximum number of subdirectories. I forgot exactly what. That you cannot exceed that. So the store is broken because new merchants cannot create a new merchant anymore, because when you create a directory, the directory cannot be created because it's already full. Uh, you know, uh, so I have to fix it. I'm I'm the hacker of the team. So I have to, first of all, find out what is the problem uh, uh, with that. Then eventually I have to implement hash table. Basically, I need to create, basically I need to how you say, partition all these subdirectories into, basically create new subdirectories and put a bunch of them together into that. Then put this subset into this, put subsets, create another hierarchy of subdirectories. So I need to implement a hash table. I did that. You found it? Post the link. Post the link. Uh, so So anyway, that's what I have to do. As I implemented a hash table back then, I have to learn what is a hash table back then. I have to um, learn it. Okay, so just post it. Just post it. Stop fussing. Just post the link. We can see it. Then if it's censored, then I'll uh, like approve or something. No, I don't see it. Okay, you got the problems. You got a problem, Bartholomew. I don't even see in my admin station. Yeah, I think Google says, okay, you are a bad guy. Google doesn't let you post stuff. Wait, do I have some kind of, I know I never banned or anything anyone. Yeah, I don't know why is that, that but you have ways to post a link, like to separate the words, you can do it. Is if you want to. Okay, so what are we? Hash table. So yeah, we were talking about hash table, and so which terminology is the best? I don't like the word map. Java and JavaScript use the word map to mean list of pairs, list of key value pairs as hash table. I don't like map because map means so many things. In math, it's a map. Map is a function. It's not a lookup table. It's a function. Well, in a semantic sense, a function is it's a map. But usually we there are different meanings, and they are different. I mean, from different perspective, you can say a function is also it's a map. It's basically just a map between two sets. So you can think of it as a key value pairs. But however, another perspective is that a function is kind of a action. Action. You take something in, something output. So there are different perspectives, and these two different perspectives, although in some sense are the same thing, but however, they have different functions in usage. The ideas are different. Okay, so they are not the same. I mean, in practice, they are not the same. You use sometimes you want to emphasize the function doing things. Sometimes you want to emphasize the what it is. I mean, it is actually just a key value pairs. So they have different meanings in practice. So I don't like to use the word map because it also means function. It's confusing, and it confuses with the Google Maps. The street map. That's map. That's a word most people understand. Map. It's not a function. Map is just you go to the street, you need a map. So I don't like the word map for hash table. I don't, well, dictionary, Python's use of the word dictionary, that's actually the most intuitive, because anyone who we understand what's a dictionary, then immediately you understand what it is. Lookup table. So dictionary is a good term, intuitive. Now hash table, actually I'm old school, so I'm used to the word hash table, but technically I don't, yeah, but if I'm myself, I don't think that's good, hash table, because hash table, that term does not actually mean the thing, because it actually means it refers to the implementation of the thing. You see, hash table refers to the hash function, the implementation, how it is implemented. It doesn't actually directly mean list of key value pairs. So hash table is actually stupid term from the Unix philosophy people. Okay, from this C Unix philosophy, Unix people, idiotic people. Perl, they love these jargons. The more opaque, the more difficult to understand, the more they love. They'll say, "Oh, hash table." So hash table is no good. So dictionary is kind of, it's actually probably the best. But actually the best is just say list of key value pairs. I don't like Python. Uh, yet Okay, I think today is another random chat. I guess I rambled so much, and um the comments is piling up. I haven't see it. What is this? Forum slash hashtag explanation mark topic show. Let's see if I can show that. Hey, good morning, Justin Hayes Jones. So forum slash hashtag mark topic slash top com dot unix. What is this? This is on Google News Scoops. Bartholomew. Let's just search for xrd Solaris directory maximum subdir. Okay, so let's see if we can find that. So I've been digressing a whole bunch, and so today we are not doing we are not doing Emacs discipline. Uh, okay, so you have to go Google News Groups. I don't like to. Why is Google starting to like? Oops, did I delete it by mistake? Shit. So Nick, you posted something. I don't know why Google is you know censor it, and I think I clicked delete by mistake, I think. Because my mouse has auto click. When I stop moving, it clicks. um, Google Groups. Okay, so if you have a question for me, address with my name, okay, then I'll answer that. Then, oh, okay, wait. There are so many hidden chats. I mean, not hidden, but censored. Okay. Oh God, so many comments. Uh, xrd Solaris directory. Let's search for that. 6 Solaris questions. 6? No, I didn't. What's a shell onliner? Okay, that must be some of my other old messages. 6 Solaris questions. Thanks to all who helped. Here's the answer to my question. Okay, I was asking 6 Solaris questions. You know, oh my God, this is back in Solaris days. This is year 2002, when I was working at Notopia, and this is UNIX Solaris crap. You think Linux is difficult. The Unix before it's is far worse. But anyway, there's a message for xrd Solaris directory maximum number. Okay, no, not found. Subdirectory. God. Wait, is that part of it? Okay, so I'm not sure what to do here now. Oh, there it is. Show. Let's try that. No result. Google. Anyway, let's forget about that maybe. So if you have a question for me, just put my name, then I'll answer that. I think maybe we. So how long we've been talking? 1 hour. Yeah, so maybe yeah, we should limit it to 1 hour, no more, because then it drags on. So dictionary is best because it is a thing you use to look up something up. Yeah, so yeah, that's the most intuitive name. Good morning, Justin. Read the comments. Read my comment. Iris. Type it again. What? Like, I cannot find which comments then. Okay, that is the maximum number of directories inside of the. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thread title. So let's find it for old time's sake. Yep. And I don't remember what is the problem. So Xardi says in 2002, April 19th, what is the maximum number of directories one can create under a directory on our production box on NetApp with UFS? Fucking Unix jargons. Linux people get excited. Oh, UFS, NetApp. We have a directory that has about 38,000 first level subdirectories. When this is started up and transferred to my personal dev box Ultra 5, I tried to untar it. I got an error saying too many links after about 3 hours of untar. I wrote a Perl script that creates directories just to see what is the maximum, and it turns out to be 32,765. My disk has sufficient space and inode, see below my SIG. Can anyone tell me what is the factor that controls the number of directories one can create immediate below a given dir? And whether this file system config can be dynamically updated, or do I have to create a new file system, or if this is entirely something else? Okay. Okay, and this part is called signature. Today, if you are young, you may not be familiar with that. Like every programmers, you put, basically your contact info, then usually some stupid quotes. Okay, so anyway, I have some shout, Hypatia. That's the server. That's a machine name of my Solaris box. So this guy, Darren Dunham, so he's obviously an expert. Something close to max links 3, where sysparam.h, that's a C file, max link. Each directory has a hard link in all subdirectories, it's called. Each directory has a hard link in all subdirectories, so eventually you hit this limit. Okay, you can't change it without changing the UFS file system you are using. That would require a lot of work and would probably be incompatible with our other file systems, so I've never heard of anyone doing it. So I'm guessing the file system simply doesn't have. Okay, so anyway, there you have the answer. Some technical esoteric detail. Just a magic number, 32,767 max links in a C header file, sys/param.h fuck C. Okay, the fuck, the Linux, Unix, every time, like, if you mention, oh, our system, we cannot have numbers of directories, then the Linux or Unix people, they'll say, oh, I not, you gotta do this, look at main pages, this fuck. They think they know stuff, they think they get excited. They get excited about this esoteric thing, and they want to tell you and stuff. Back then I'm a fucking Unix master, and another because I read books, I read just man pages, I read everything, tons of them. And Solaris, there is 3 volumes Solaris manual. Okay, I tried to read them. I don't remember. I think I, uh, you know, 3 volumes Solaris official manual. I like to read the official manual. And when Mac OS came out, Mac OS 10, Mac OS X also has official, sysadmin manuals, in PDF back in 2002. I like to read those. But by the way, back in, you have Solaris, right? These Unix boxes costing $40,000, and you want to eject the CD, okay? Now, how do you eject the CD? Well, you press the button, right? Usually on PC, there's a button, you just press it. Not so on Unix. Well, you can just press it, but that's improper way to do it. Okay, that's improper because then just maybe you have file accessing it, things like that. That's the improper way to do it. So the proper, I always like to do things the proper way, and also so I go miles to read the official. Usually I go for the official manual or whatever documentation to find instructions on how to do things. So I remember I spent hours trying to find the proper way to eject the CD. Fuck the Solaris. I tried, I tried to, you have to. I don't remember all those commands. On Unix you have this command that tells you which process is using which file. Okay, Linux website. And today, people, the Emacs fuckheads, they look at my website, they say, "Oh, Xali is this Windows newbie, Windows B, who tries to use Emacs." And the fucking these fanatic idiots, they say bad things about me all the time, but they don't know stuff. They don't know Lisp. On Reddit, you can still see it. That's last few weeks ago. This I once in a while I check it. People mention my names. Yeah, let's look. Let's go there. Reddit Emacs. Search for XA. Okay, like some idiot. They want to smear me because they don't like me criticizing Lisp or GNU or Free Software Foundation or Emacs, right? And that's normal people. They like to, they are in a community. You don't like other people criticizing your community. But let's search for Emacs. XA. Okay. um, let's see. Relevance. No, not by relevance. I like to search by new, arrange by new. People who use packages that introduce model editing, some advice for good Django. Is there a way to have which keys always on? Uh, I don't remember which one, but I read one because now since I'm here, I can give you a proper retort to that guy, that whoever idiot. Sometimes they are not. Sometimes they just want to make fun. Like today's online life, everyone is anonymous. You just shit posting, so-called shit posting or whatever. You just have fun, not necessarily hating me, but my reputation get damaged as a side effect. Uh, let's see. Because I remember one. Uh, what is that side of not collateral damage? Yeah, my reputation gets is a collateral damage for their fun making, for their merry making. Okay, so God, I have this auto click going on every time my mouse moves. It not that. Fly keys, not that. Why Emacs leaf sucks? One big rambling rant. And not that. Wait, what? No, not that. Emacs hands on opening file. Review provide feedback on state of Emacs. No. When it annoys me, like all these people. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Um, so what is this? Edith's question. Uh, there it is. There it is. This by this guy. I knew. let me let me deconstruct this idiot. Okay. Okay. So here is someone by Hanja Lee. Hanja Lee is asking a question, and he's posting one of my code. He has a question about it. XR user buffer queue. Okay, so he want to make, he want to extend the function, so he wants to know how to do it. So I have this function XR user buffer queue means it returns true or false. It means whether the current buffer is a user buffer. So what does that mean? In Emacs, you have a lot of buffers that begin with a comma. I mean, begin with a messages. For example, messages. You see, this messages buffer begin and ends with an asterisk star. So those buffers beginning with an asterisk, those are Emacs generated on the fly. So like logs, compile logs, messages, completion. So those are what I call Emacs buffers. Usually you don't want to see them. Like when you go to the next buffer, previous buffer, you don't want to see them. Then the others are user buffers, like your files and stuff. You want to see them. So you have this function, XR user buffer queue, that returns true or false, whether it's user buffer or not. So that when you call next buffer, you can call this and make sure you skip, this Emacs log and stuff you don't want to see. So he want to extend it to contain magic. Okay, yeah. Magic is nasty. Magic is well, that's another thing, another day. Magic is getting annoying. Um, okay, so then there is this Inuit guy. He's got 7 points. It says, like everything XR does, that's some serious weird wear. Try this on for size. Let me explain. Okay, let me explain how idiotic this guy is. The idiocy of the Inuit guy. This is online today. We have a society where everyone is this anonymous fuck. Use your real name. Okay, say what you mean. Be responsible. Well, you don't have to do that. Okay, because it's common today, but it's better if we you know so let's look at this guy's code. Okay, so basically what he is saying is that okay, XR Lisp mod magnify, okay, shrink it a bit. Okay, so here it is. What is his point? His point is using all. Okay, so he has this code here. Let me show you. Okay, so he has this code here. So basically, we can simplify it to all A B. Okay, he's doing this or A or B. It's like if A is not true, then do B. Do A. Okay, do B. That's the essence of his code. Now, I was not writing that. What I was doing is this. If what what I was doing is yeah, okay, this is what I'm doing. If wait, okay, so this is not about do, but it's let me explain. uh what Okay, we are about to finish. Let me finish. This is getting long and longer. um it's approaching 90 minutes now. But anyway, so do a let me just go ahead and explain. For like normally you will see this you basically using or, you are abusing the or operator as a control structure. That is the bit, that's the point. Okay, you are abusing the or control or uh, Boolean operator, logical operator, as a control structure. And you see this often in Unix Bash as well. In fact, Bash is probably the one who began it. For example, ls, or if it's successful, grab something, grab ABC. Then if it's successful, you do delete, remove file. Okay, uh, remove it, something like that. Okay, so basically what what happens here, you are abusing the logical boolean or operator as a control structure. Why does that work? Because the way boolean or operator work is because they evaluate each one as soon as it sees something is false, as soon as it sees something is as soon as it's see something is true. If it is true, then it stops evaluating the second part. It just stop and return this right away because it's true. When all is it returns true. There are several issues here. Okay. Anyway, um, so the purpose, the mathematical purpose of the or logical operator is to determine which, if any one of them is true. Now, but in a typical practical programming language, you have to start to evaluate by order, right? You start the first one. If it is true, you don't need to evaluate the rest of it. You can stop right now, and then the whole thing should be true. But however, this is not a this kind of shortcut will have problems as a logical operator because, for example, if you do this prevents you from doing parallel computation, which is critical today. For example, if you have a bunch of ors, let's say A, B, C, D, D, okay, A, B, C, D. Okay, let's say A, B, C, D. Today you have parallel computing, so you can, if you have a compiler, you can write them, evaluate A, B, C, D together at the same time on 4 different CPUs. You know, but this is different from this. If your language is using the sequential evaluation, that's a problem. You can never do the. What if you have 1 million items? What if you have 1 million items? That's bad. That's bad. But for practical purposes, especially before, let's say before year 2000, almost basically every programming language, you just do sequential evaluation. Okay, that's just practical. That's just you can say it's a side effect of kind of a practicality, but it's not a logical. It's not supposedly the proper way to 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 have such evaluation strategy for all and the AND operator, the logical operator. Now, but anyway, we have so-called idiom in many programming languages. That is, for example, in JavaScript, you also have For example, let x equals to color color or red. You see that this is common. This is common in JavaScript, in Python, in Perl. Okay, these fuckheads, they tell you what to do. They tell you to use this. When these hacker types, this Unix philosophy fucks, this hacker, Lisp people, they will tell you like use this. If you don't use this, they think you are stupid. They think oh the Saudi is he's trying to teach something wrong. You should do this. This is wrong. Okay, because if you understand what I'm talking about the logical operators, for example, one of the limitation, the problem with this evaluation strategy is that you can no longer do parallelism. Okay, you know and also let me tell you another thing. This is called abuse of the semantics. That is, each programming language, you have lots of words. Okay, you can abuse them and to create clever ways to do tricks. That's how you have obfuscation. C obfuscation competition. Pearl golf. Pearl golf the fuck. I fucking hate these type of people. The golf, obfuscation, clever, hacker, grok, great, grok. I grok these idiots. Okay. Okay, so I hope I get my idea across. Why this is a problem, and you might think, well, Kasa, that's your just opinion. Nobody actually believe what you say. Not so. Let me tell you a famous computer scientist. Let's go to Ksa Talk Show. Let's go to programming blog. Okay, then let's go to semantic noodle, and let's search for all. I'm confused. Ksa, are you kidding? Wait, I cannot keep up with the comments. Okay. Uh, I have an article here. This article, logic. Okay, this section, programming idioms and style, logic operator as control flow. I gave some examples, basically like what I explained. And these idioms tell you to do that, and including Emacs Lisp, that Eon New idiot. This Eon New on Reddit idiot. To him, he thinks like he's made a great point. Oh, and look at this 7 votes up. 7 votes up. When I see that, it makes my blood boil. Then like some idiot says something, then ooh, 7. Everyone is like, oh yeah, you are right. Oh my God, Kasari is so bad. And okay, let's go back to let's show the computer scientist. Who is he? Edgar W. Dijkstra. This, he has actually a name of it of this thing. Okay, anyway, let me just read out what he says. So EWD says, he's a well-known computer scientist. He talks a lot. He criticizes a lot of other computer science stuff. So he says the conditional connectives C and CO for short are less innocent than they might seem at first sight. For instance, CO does not distribute over C and. Compare, okay, he's using math jargons, the distributive law, anyway. He shows some code. Then he says in the case of the, okay, he's using logical symbols, not A and C, okay. The second expression requires B to be defined. The first one does not, because the conditional connectives thus complicates the formal reasoning about programs. They are better avoided. Uh, okay, are they? Is he talking about the same thing I'm talking about? Anyway, I'm not going to go into, maybe someone will say because idiotic stuff. Actually, he says something else. But anyway, the idea, I'm pretty sure the idea is similar. Okay, actually, I should look into, well, anyway, um, I don't remember. I wrote this in 2015. I need to double check what he's saying. And Yeah, and the racket even has the old map. Anyway, so I think that's it today. So um, this is thank you for watching Sa Talk Show. And today we talked about 90 minutes. And people are getting tired. I'm getting tired. You getting tired, and I'm getting confused. I'm confused. Dion says I'm confused. Dion says I'm confused about what is wrong with the old construct. Surely a buffer check predicate isn't a candidate for parallelization. Okay, so let's go back to Emacs. Well, let's check what I okay. That's about Emacs list. Let me show my original code. Okay, where is it? Uh, okay, so actually, back. Um, Shit. Anyway, so let's go to I can find the code. Let's go to Emacs list buffer. So XAR next user buffer, XAR user buffer queue. Let's search the function. And here is the function. XAR user buffer queue. Copy it, close it, and paste it at the top. So here is what I wrote. So I use a condition, so what is his code here? What is this guy complaining? Yeah, okay, so but anyway, I mean, in general, I don't use these, okay? Don't do these. I mean, well, this is kind of nitpicking because in practice, like, who cares? I mean, this is not Emac. This is not logic. Okay, it's not formal logic, and it's not. People understand what it means. It's not like But you have to understand. There is this issue. You've seen even that guy talked about it. I mean, there is this issue. Okay, so anyway, in general, I never use or ABCD to do that. The only time I use or is when I want to know which one is true. I do not try. I do not use the side effect of or. Like dropping evaluations. I don't do that. I don't like that. Unless in shell. In shell, you have no choice. That's just the way the shell is so bad. The UNIX fuck. That's why. So in general, I always do if. I don't care what. I always write if. And if something, then I always just if. In any language, in Perl, in Java, in Perl, JavaScript, in Golang, I never do this. Okay, you never see. You in my code, you never see this thing. This is very common. This is like in every JavaScript code. They'll do it and they'll tell you to do it. These idiots. Okay, so so that's it for today. So yeah, let's 30 minutes. Then you have last comments. Okay, just going to go check if the any comments addressed to me. Uh, yeah, so Seema says with the all abuse, why does it matter if you are only using two cases. Yeah, I mean, I am because I have a math background and I like formal logic and stuff, so I'm kind of into these kind of things. In practice, I mean, practically speaking, it's fine. I mean, this is fine. I mean, again, this is a matter of style. Okay, so like you have people telling you you should follow this style, that style. That's their opinion. So my opinion, I have my own style. I don't like this. Never do this. I use if. Now, which one is actually exactly better? I mean, this is like doesn't matter. It really, we are not doing formal logic. It doesn't matter. You can go either way. Okay, so I'm kind of when I talk, I exaggerate. I make it dramatic. Of course, I swear at these people. Let's okay. Let's say that's a show. Okay, that's Xa Talk show. That's the show. That's a show part of Xa Talk and my rant. It doesn't really matter, but but I like to complain. The other thing is these people never thought they haven't seen this idea I just presented, that formula, about the logic consequences. They haven't seen, they don't know. And also when you don't know these things and you keep, I mean, the thing about this I hate is that they don't just use it. I mean, if it's your style, that's fine. You like what you do. You do your style, I do my style, okay? But these idioms, style guide, every Python language has style guide, Python priests, Unix philosophy people, Unix people. They fuck with you if you don't follow their advice. They'll start to say, "Oh, you are stupid. You should do it this way." That is the problem. That is that's what gets me all this rant. These fuckheads, this Unix philosophy and idiom, Python idioms, the Python standard style guide and all that. They don't know. They don't know things. And programmers in general, they are ignorant, like completely ignorant of math or formal logic. Like they never studied. Maybe they studied calculus, which is actually not math. Okay, calculus is kind of like engineering. The real math is when you started to learn abstract algebra and analysis, so-called analysis, which basically is a calculus, but in mathematician's way. Okay, if you have studied abstract algebra like group field rings, okay, or analysis like infimum, supremum, the or topology, okay, that's when you understand what math is about. And I talked about this whole video 1 hour last month or so. You guys can check it out. I discussed what are the courses you study in math. What does mathematician do? What are the things they study? So in general, the programmers in the industrial programmers, they don't know math. Okay, like they have no idea, but they idolize math. Typically, they idolize math, and they tell you these idiom things. They think they are hotshot. Like even in Emacs community, I can tell you right away. I can name them. I rather it's not a good it's not a good thing to name them. Like on Twitter's group, on Twitter, I know several, I can name them. Several, big shots, Emacs package writers, huge, very popular package, tens of thousands downloads. They are like huge, they are hot shots. I'm the the package writer. Oh, Ksa, he's a weird guy. His package only got 100 users. Mine's got 10,000 users. But they don't say it. These kind of people, they are not like me. Okay, they don't say these kind of things. They are always nice. They are here to help humanity to make a better world. But some of them I know I can name. They like this. They like this, and if you don't do that, they think you are stupid. That's what they do. That's what they think. They ignorant. Just like this example, this Reddit. We've seen. That's a actual real life example. It happened just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Was ellipse or intended to be analog to the FOL, or I'm not sure what FOL. Anyway, we should shut down. So Uh, so I'm just looking at comments addressed to me and answer that. So thank you guys for watching. Put money in my pocket. Okay, so yeah, some of you, if you like my stuff, you know, and if you have a job, put some money in my PayPal and Patreon and stuff. Uh, okay, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming. And tomorrow is going to be okay. Tomorrow 12 o'clock again. So 12 noon San Francisco time. Bye guys.